Hey, what's going on guys? Hayes here for another Wuthering video, and today I wanted to talk about whether or not CIACCONA is worth your asteroids. So sit back, lock in, and enjoy the video, and as always remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Let's get into it. CIACCONA is a 5-star resonator that will be releasing in the second half of version 2.3 right after Zani, and while she's of the aero element, she's more specifically an aero erosion user. And if you don't know what aero erosion is, it's like Spectral Frazzle, which is a debuff that you can apply on the enemy after using your character's attacks and or abilities. CIACCONA makes full use of these debuffs and can even apply them herself, so let's do a quick rundown of her kit to get a quick understanding of how she works before going into whether or not she is worth pulling. CIACCONA is a sub DPS with the ability to generate aero erosion stacks on the enemy. Her basic attack is a 4-piece combo, and on her 4th attack she puts aero erosion on the enemy and enters her dancing mode. If interrupted during basic attack 4 or by dodging out of it, she generates something called an ensemble sylph, which is her little shadow clone. And this clone allows CIACCONA to continue her basic attack that got interrupted earlier to keep her combos going. And after an ensemble sylph is generated, all nearby resonators in the team get an aero damage bonus, and you'll know you have it when a green circle appears beneath CIACCONA or an ensemble sylph, which once again is her clone. Her heavy, aimed, and mid-air attack are pretty normal and don't do anything special, so let's move on to her skill, which is actually pretty simple as well. When CIACCONA casts her skill, Harmonic Allegro, she applies aero erosion on the enemy, and after casting, it allows her to begin her basic attack combo from stage 2. And like her basic attack 4, interruptions to some of the normal attacks during her skill combo will allow her to generate an ensemble sylph. Once again, this means any interruptions so you can dodge and create them for yourself. Next, her ultimate, which deals damage to the target and enters her into her enhanced state, where CIACCONA can play Just Dance, and depending on the button hit, she can generate a Spectral Frazzle stack or an aero erosion stack every time you press the button until the ult ends. When you switch off CIACCONA during her ult, it will continue going on from the last button you pressed while your other character is on field dealing damage. So if the last button you tap was green, CIACCONA will continue generating aero erosion stacks from off field. Same for Spectral Frazzle stacks if that's the button you pressed. And of course the aero damage bonus from her shadow clones can still be triggered from her ultimate state. Moving on to her forte, which is also pretty simple. God, I love how no nonsense her kit is, there's like zero yap. But yeah, when her forte bar is filled after doing basic attacks or intro skills, CIACCONA can do her enhanced heavy, which is a grouping ability that continuously draws in enemies. This is great for modes like Whimpering Waste for stupid enemies that like running away. Her inherent skills are pretty normal. The first one gives her a shield when she does her ult, and the second one increases her enhanced heavy attacks damage, which is once again her grouping ability when her forte is full. And last but definitely not least, her intro skill inflicts a stack up aero erosion and allows you to follow up and start with basic attack 3, and her outro skill amplifies the amount of aero erosion damage the enemies take, further showcasing just how good she is for aero erosion teams. Now that we know what she does and how she works, let's bring up today's question. Do you need her? Well, as usual, take a look at your account state. Do you have or plan on getting characters that will work well with her? Because my opinion on CIACCONA is that she is a very niche character when played in her intended role, and that is a very good and very bad thing. The bad is that she hardly buffs anything other than the new elements, Erosion and Frazzle. The only regular thing that she can provide for the old units is the aero damage bonus from her clones, and even then, you wouldn't want to pull a character for only one part of her kit. And the fact that she is a sub DPS doesn't help with this either, because while she can be played in a main DPS playstyle, her kit is much more suited to the sub DPS playstyle since you want to use her skills and liberation as soon as possible, then get off field, so your main DPS can reap her benefits and do even more damage. The problem is the main DPS choices that we have. As stated before, she only really works with the new elements, so your choices are quite literally Phoebe and CARTETHYIA. Zani is an honorable mention, but CIACCONA does not apply stacks fast enough for me to say she's worth running with her. So having only 2 units that can really benefit from her sub DPS playstyle isn't really ideal for most. I mean, if you have them, then hell yeah, you're chilling, but don't go grabbing CIACCONA thinking she's an all-around aero buff. Now, let's talk about the good and why somebody would actually want to pull her, looking at all you featured CARTETHYIA mains, myself included. As we can tell by literally reading any part of her kit, you can see that she is built for CARTETHYIA, similar to how Phoebe is built for Zani. From her insane aero erosion application, to her aero damage bonus, to her increasing the amount of aero erosion damage the enemy takes, CIACCONA is literally built for our new aero DPS and will most likely, definitely be her best slot teammate. It is not yet known if CARTETHYIA really needs CIACCONA, but whether it's true or not, no matter what, CIACCONA will be an insane upgrade to her damage, and there's no doubt about that. And if you're a Phoebe user, there's some love for you as well, because even though it's only one part of her kit, the fact that you have the option to apply Spectral Frazzle from her ult also means they can potentially work together in a team even without CARTETHYIA. Just keep in mind that most of her buffs are about air erosion, and she is very dedicated to that field, so you really do want to be using her with air erosion units. Well, unit. But since CARTETHYIA releases right after CIACCONA's banner ends, most free-to-plays will probably have to pick one or the other and won't be able to get both. So what's the final verdict? As stated before, CIACCONA is a very niche character and doesn't offer much flexibility in terms of her kit, but in her specific role, no one will be better than her since she's in a class of her own. That being said, if you don't plan on pulling CARTETHYIA, then I think she's the easiest skip of your life, as she really only offers buffs for air erosion. Yeah, she can apply a few Spectral Frazzle stacks, but putting a whole character just for that doesn't really seem like the smartest choice to me. On the other hand, if you are planning on pulling CARTETHYIA, I think that she will be her best teammate for her and that this team comp will literally break the game. But since she's right before CARTETHYIA, don't hesitate to skip her for now and pull her later on, in order to make sure that you have as many pulls as possible for our small and giant elf queen. Since Air Rover can be substituted for CIACCONA in the team anyway, like I talked about in one of my most recent vids, don't feel too pressured to pull for her and just focus on CARTETHYIA, especially if you are free to play. So all in all, for those that don't plan on pulling CARTETHYIA, don't even take a look at CIACCONA's banner and keep saving those asteroids for a looper or something. And for those that plan on pulling CARTETHYIA, only pull CIACCONA if you think you have enough pulls, otherwise just wait for the rerun and secure your CARTETHYIA first. And as always, I have to mention this, if you love CIACCONA for CIACCONA, don't let some dude on the internet tell you what to pull and pull whoever you want. It's always waifu over meta. Thanks for watching the video. Tell me what your pull plans are looking like down below in the comments. This was Hayes. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Peace.